Another game, another blue blob. Welcome. I have done several games actually with this particular mod set that I have. All doing is the French Republic because that's what I'm comparing to from before. And yeah, I keep knocking over Prussia. This time I'm helping Austria, so that's a change. And I've got a great mod. You notice the year. This is 1878. And yes, I've got lots of blue in North Africa. It should be French colored. But you're going to see something in the rest of Africa. I've got South Africa, I've got East Africa, but very little penetration of the malaria-infested interior. This is great. I got a mod that keeps Africa from getting painted too early. Now, I could still go nuts and start knocking over various other potentates and stuff, but I'm like playing on the honor system here. I'm not going to knock them over until, right about now. So hence this video here. What's going on? Why is that? Here's the little gem. Later African colonization. Make quinine a level 3 tech. Duh. This just changes everything. Now, we can't penetrate the deep parts of Africa and start getting them all painted up. So when it's around 1875, 1880 or so, quinine comes into play and the race for Africa really becomes a true race. Other little powers that have been growing can get their act together and get ready to go. So you're not showing up in 1880 and suddenly, Britain and France have gotten everything. Other guys can get in and play. When we look at the other historical inventions here, the hand-crank machine gun, which is level 3, and the gunboat, which is also level 3, those two plus quinine were the three things that allowed European nations to penetrate the African interior. Machine guns, gunboats, and quinine. So by taking this tech, quinine, and moving it out of the level 2 rank and shoving it down here in level 3, we get a real difference in our colonization. The game only asks for quinine. It's not looking for the other two inventions, which really were critical. And rather than rewrite the code to say you must have these other two things, you're probably going to research those prior to quinine because you have to fight wars. Putting quinine on level 3 just means you're going to have those other two techs and this one. So as a result, you're able to go into that interior and start doing some colonization later in the game rather than earlier in the game. The mod doesn't change where civilizing mission comes in, so what the result will be is you'll have this late game discovery of quinine, and then you can follow with civilizing mission, and then you give 2 boosts to your colonial affairs, and suddenly you can explode across the map. So I highly recommend later African colonization. This mod does the trick. Another mod that I found that really helps in this game is the competitive AI economy mod. And this is from Hyolusion's workshop. Hope I got that right. After several games with this, I found that this one really does deliver as advertised. The AI is building more of the basic economic goods that are necessary to get their own economies going. And as you can see in this game here, we have some very competitive AI in Austria knocking out Bavaria. Good job there. The Papal States have found a way to absorb Tuscany. Of course, I took Piedmont out early in the game. That may have created a vacuum for them to expand into. The British have been absorbing their, including the Raj, they've been absorbing their subjects. Russia has walloped into the Heavenly Kingdom, and Great Britain is taking a slice, and I'm feeling a bit left out of the race. I did have an earlier war where I was supporting Great Britain to take these guys over, and I was going to get this, but I was against the Qing Empire, then the Heavenly Kingdom revolted, and now I can't take this. That's something that's supposed to get fixed in 1.6, and I'll have more about that in a little bit. I am definitely seeing a more aggressive AI because it has a better economy that can power its military. I had a great comment the other day that said, basically, you build your economy so you can build your army, so you can weaken or cripple your neighbors, acquire resources, and then that will allow you to build your economy some more. Repeat. And that's exactly the mindset of the day. Build that economy to build that army so you can build that economy. Competitive AI economy, I can endorse. This is really doing the trick for me. I've also been playing with less reactionary beliefs. This one will take some tuning in order to get just right for what you want, but I have not had to zigzag my way across reforms. By setting different things to, I like entrenched, that means once you get a particular kind of government in power, it's more likely to pass certain kinds of laws. I'm now able to have revolutionary governments promote more revolutionary changes, and in so doing, they're able to sweep aside the old powers and create new ones. Now, I did have an issue after, in this particular game, Louis Napoleon resigned. He fled the country. We had a presidency. And then the people who got elected were pushing for a monarchy. And I said, okay, I'll pass that law. And as soon as I did, an even bigger revolution came up to establish a republic. And I thought, let's stoke those fires. It was a huge revolution. I switched sides, got the revolutionary achievement, and now France is a republic. But once those guys got in charge, these less reactionary beliefs from the mod helped to keep things basically moving along that felt a better historical path than what had been going on before. This is a great mod. And power plant not local. I don't have it yet in this game because we just discovered electricity, but in the other playthroughs I did with this thing, it worked wonderfully. I had electricity in my own market. I could build it where it made sense to build it. Excess power from one area went to another. Life was great. This is another strong mod. And that begs the question, how many of them are going to survive the 1.6 changelog? I had somebody ask earlier, oh, can you put out a mod list? And I was about to, and then I realized, wait, this is happening. And when we look at the features, the improvements, the AI, the balance, okay, not so much the art and interface, but performance and modding and things like that, we see a number of things where, or I see a number of things where I'm going to have mods that I'm using right now pretty much get incorporated into Victoria 3. This has been something that Victoria 3 has been excellent at doing, taking mods that have been built out and incorporating them into the base code so that way we have a better game. It's really listening to the players, unlike some other games out there. City Skylines 2. Sorry, did my cough sound like words there? Darndest thing. But yes, there are some other games where it seems like they're not quite listening to the people out there. This one they are, and I really enjoy that. So before I make a mod list, since this is coming out next week, I might just want to wait until this comes out, remove the mods that I don't need anymore. Hopefully the ones that I have are still going to be compatible, and then soldier on with what I have and whatever new ones come out. And a note on compatibility. I've got some like performance overhaul. I don't know if that's going to survive. Mods that I have about making canals better, those get incorporated into the next one. The technology expansion one, which allows to have more stuff in the later game, that had to get set up for 1.5. Will it work for 1.6? And some of these others that have versions in them, I hope that they get fixed up, but I can't guarantee that. I mean, I got to have my paper map all the way. That's very important for me. What I typically do is once the new version comes out, I could take the game, load it up in vanilla, run it around just a little bit to see what's going on, and then that'll get me an idea about what mods I can start dropping because I already see them in the vanilla game. And then after that, it's a day or two of troubleshooting with the current mods to see if they still work in the new version. This is a process that I got used to when I was playing City Skylines. It's nothing really different here. It's just a thing you do every time there's a new update or DLC. Well, I've got some rubber plantations to work on. I've got my electricity industry to build out, and someone needs to build a Suez Canal because I've got these overseas holdings that really need to have faster travel to. I hate going around Africa, even though I own part of the southern part, and I'm glad to have the business. I need to build a Suez Canal. It's just important. I need to do this. And rather than bore you with the details, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Hope you have a fun time. Hope you get the right mods for your system. And may all your diplomatic plays go your way.